and welcome to the second episode of DRM Gamecast. Here with DOA Head, Randall Thor, and I'm your host, Mr. Black Magic. And we have a special guest today, boys.
Oh god, is the Dora in the house?
Miss Pandora.
I think we need to start with the burning question. What did you think of Tremors?
Oh my goodness. Are we gonna go on that? I did not like it very much, I'm sorry.
Alright, well this interview's over, kick her out. Who doesn't like Tremors?
Me.
Even Magic, the movie cynic, old movie cynic, likes Tremors.
But it's okay, but the category that it's under is horror, and it's not horror. It's far from it.
Says who the category is for.
It does.
I mean, there is such a thing as comedy, you know.
Comedy, well, that's true, but
yeah, like scary movie.
Comedy, you shouldn't laugh and be scared. I don't know. Horror to me is you gotta be scared, not laugh at Michael Gross with a rocket launcher or tank or whatever else, cannon. Come on.
An elephant
I'll get
gun.
you, worm. Stupid.
Other than your hatred for Tremors, tell the fans about yourself, Pan.
Tell the fans about myself?
Mm-hmm. Tell them, what do you want them to know? For those who don't know you.
You know, age, rank, serial number.
Age? Come on. That's not
serial number.
Age? I am something years old. Kind of.
How old is that?
I'm not saying.
Well, you're a
recently
mother of one.
Single. Mother of one. Yes.
Got a MILF in the house. Recently single, boys.
Speak up, Ray. You're talking too quiet.
I guess I'm a former achievement whore. Kind of on the slower side now, achievement-wise, but.
She's a quitter.
I'm not a quitter. I just
now she
enjoy
just wants
games
to play Magic, all versions.
That's right, because what's wrong with Magic? It's an awesome game.
I will come to
you gotta
the
use your
defense
brain.
of Magic, so don't start down that road.
Yeah.
Yes, but you play other things besides Magic.
This is true.
It just came out, though. Come on, that's not fair.
Yes, and now you're counting the days to the Xbox One version and the Xbox One version of Minecraft.
Well, of course, who wouldn't? Hello, awesome game. It's not my fault you don't use your imagination.
So without spoiling it, how was that new episode of Walking Dead, Rand? Since I saw you finished it.
I mean, it's fine.
I read a review, or I saw a review for it. Maybe it was IGN, I think, maybe, or Polygon, and they gave it like a 6.5. What's up with that? What happened to the old 9 or above days of The Walking Dead? What's going on now?
No, it's not as good as season 1 by far. You don't care. I mean, you start to understand that your choices don't matter, because essentially what's going to happen is exactly what Telltale wants to happen. So it doesn't matter if you choose to steal something or kill somebody or whatever. It doesn't really matter what the choices you make. So that kind of I don't know, it kind of ruins the experience to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's good. It's just not nearly as good as season 1, and Wolf Among Us is much better. So.
Weren't you saying Weren't you saying that they were the gameplay was kind of going out the window on season 2?
Oh yeah, the game. Yeah, they pretty much there's barely any walking around and trying to figure out puzzles. Now it's more just dialogue and QTE sequences. So, and if that's the direction they're going in, well then I don't know. I mean. I just don't know if I can. I guess it's the people like Walking Dead because it has a good story. I don't like it because it has good gameplay. The problem is, like, I don't think the story is really that good anymore. Partially, it's because none of the character I could give a shit about. I don't give a shit about any of the characters besides Clementine. So they're all like disposable to me. So it's like if one of them dies, it's like I don't care. Then someone else dies, it's like I don't care.
Second season curse.
Well, it's just kind of hard to replay people from season one that you actually liked. Well, this is also before you realize that, like I said, the choices don't matter. You know, you thought you were making meaningful choices, but it's just an illusion of free will, essentially.
Well, you weren't a big fan of the end of Wolf Among Us either.
No, it's a terrible ending. It's a very, very terrible ending.
I just want Game of Thrones. I want to
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking. If you're telling me they're Telltale is kind of going down the drain, and they need to fucking bring in a B team to work on Game of Thrones, please, because that's the only one I'm interested in.
I don't know. I'm kind of interested in Borderlands Tales just because I think it's going to be a comedy, and they were actually pretty funny on those like poker night games. So I mean, it could maybe be good in a comedic type of way.
Maybe. I mean, the whole like people play the Walking Dead games for story. I mean, I get that, but to me, if the gameplay isn't there, then it's just a pointless game, because just give it to me the whole story straight through, instead of these little segments where I have to walk around picking up crap. Just let me watch it like a TV show, basically. If there's no gameplay, then get the gameplay out of the game completely.
Yeah, but then you might as well just watch the real Walking Dead.
Well, they might as well turn into a web series then and just make a little, hour-long episode each week or something. I mean, if the gameplay is pointless and it's terrible, then it's just a hindrance to the story. You're just making me go through the motions of walking here, pick this up, investigate a little bit, when no one gives a shit about it. Just like hurry up and get on to the story.
Mm. I mean, wasn't that always Barney's complaint? That he said it wasn't a game, and they put in this bullshit mechanics to call it a game, but it's not.
Well, I mean, I've always said it's basically an interactive TV show. I mean, that's pretty much what it is.
Well, it's just like Murder Cell Suspect, essentially. Except Murder Cell Suspect has a lot more area you can go around, but I mean, they're essentially the same game.
Well, there's a bunch of investigating type of stuff you can do in Murdered.
I don't know. I felt like I was playing Murder Soul Suspect.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. I mean, it's less than a game, like Assassin's Creed or something, but I didn't feel I was just going point to point watching the story.
I did.
I thought Wolf Among Us wasn't too bad in the action scenes. And silence.
Well, I've never played the game.
I haven't played Walking Dead Season 2. I mean, you're not the only person, Rand, I've heard say that it's now just nothing but dialogue choices. I just meant in Walking Dead there was actual action scenes that you're interacted with. It was more than dialogue. Anyway.
What is our... well, hold on. What's our special quiet guest think of Walking Dead?
Has she played it?
Well, I didn't play the last two DLCs for the first one, but I just thought it was alright. I mean, it wasn't nothing special to me. I didn't see what the big hoopla was about it, but...
Well, see, I also played it when all the episodes were out, so I just played it all the way through.
Yeah.
I mean, it was over, a few days. It's not like I went through it all in one day, but I thought that was... I don't think I would have liked it to do one episode. Wait, one episode.
I mean, it was interesting to see, like, at the end of every episode, like, the percentage of people's choices and what they made, but other than that, I mean, it was, you didn't really do a whole lot of fighting. You just walked around, picked up shit, made some choices, but it was just an alright game.
No magic is what you're saying, huh?
It's not, yeah, it's no magic.
Nothing is magic.
I am magic.
Switch to Destiny.
What about what?
Well, I mean, the Destiny beta, since that's the big talk this week.
Well, did you guys play it?
Of course.
D-Wade didn't even
I
get
got
to level 5 to even try the fucking Crucible.
You didn't even get to level 5? Oh,
No.
Takes like,
Well, hold
what,
on.
2 hours of playing the game to get to level 5?
if that. Really.
D-Wade jumps
Well,
on there
I
for
played.
30 minutes like, I bet my quota, fuck this game. I don't play betas.
I played it for an hour,
And,
and I think someone else should go first.
oh boy.
Well, when I was playing it, I played it with Chrissy and I played it with her brother, in a 3-man fire team. And as we were playing it, I think me and Chrissy both said, DOA's gonna hate this game.
And
You
y'all be
have to
right.
you have to play because I mean I guess I'll go first. I love the game. I think it's great. I think what stands out most about it is it feels good to shoot your gun. Like it's just they have the shooting down top notch. And it's just fun to like get with a group of people and just go around the world and just fucking kill people and shoot enemies in the faces. Yeah, it has that kind of Borderlands feel to it where there's just a bunch of nondescript enemies that you're fighting. Uh, like when you get to an area and there's like like a bunch of like low level enemies that you can just immediately waste through, but then there's a couple higher leveled ones, right?
Hmm.
Um, so I enjoyed that aspect of it. I thought they completely nailed the whole aesthetic of the game. I like the look of it. I like the world. I like the shooting. I mean, there's not one thing I really don't enjoy about it. I did play a few games of multiplayer. I don't think I had the right gun because I was getting wasted.
Yeah.
Like, it just felt
Yeah.
like I'd shoot somebody and their shield's not even gone, and then I get shot one time and my shields are gone and I'm dead. So I was just like, well,
Well, when I first played multiplayer, I was using this high rate of fire assault rifle, which was good for, against AI, because if you don't miss, it's not that big of a deal because they're not killing you instantly. And then I was using that in PvP and was just getting destroyed. But then the next day I switched to a normal kind of assault rifle with the normal rate of fire, and I was doing really good.
would you use a 3-shot burst one or just
No, no,
a
oh,
single shot?
I hate burst rifle guns. No, just a regular little assault rifle, like just normal rate of fire, no burst, no single shot, just
It's just like Extinction. Nobody picks up the burst fire.
yeah. I mean, I don't know who plays with burst fire
No.
in any game. I don't understand. Like, unless you're playing like Rainbow or something, where one
I don't know. The
burst.
DRM wasn't too bad in or DMR. I mean, wasn't too
DMR.
bad in Halo.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. Now that I think about it,
That was probably about the
Battle
battle
Royale.
rifle in
probably
Halo 2. Here I am saying fuck burst rifles, but I used battle rifle in Halo 2 for 2
Yeah.
years straight. So, but hey, the difference between then and now is everyone had a battle rifle, so it's even.
Yeah.
I wasn't running into anyone with a super high rate of fire SMG around the corner. Everyone had a battle rifle, so it's all even. Whereas you played now, you have a burst rifle, you come around the corner, guy's right in your face, you're trying to burst him while he's just spraying you down.
I would
Yeah,
say
I-
that would be my only complaint about that game is the multiplayer is not equally matched. It's like, you know, I don't know how because you can only go to level 8, right? So I mean, are they going to keep it like equally matched level wise, or are you going to have like level 30s
Oh yeah.
playing against level 5s? You have no chance.
Well, see, they did the Crucible mode they had for PlayStation for a couple of hours over the weekend, or it was like a special game mode within Crucible, and it was, I believe, where you could all your abilities were basically unlocked, like unrestricted.
right.
So if you had a high level ability, you could use it like to its full extent. So I don't know if in the full game there's going to be game modes where no matter what type of gun you have, the
Everybody
damage is
has
going to
the
be
same.
set. Yeah, like
Yeah.
everyone's going to have the same damage for their gun type of thing. But then there's going to be
Because it
different
didn't
game
seem
modes.
like it when
Uh,
when I played multiplayer. It was
I don't
like
know. I mean,
everybody had different weapons, and I'm sure the
Well, I mean,
upgrades
obviously,
of the
like-
to
weapons.
match make you.
well,
against
obviously,
people
like
in your rank.
snipers, and if you're the hunter, I believe it is, they're special. That revolver, that's a one hit.
Oh yeah.
So I
Yeah.
mean, those are more powerful than your regular old guns. But I think as far as like assault rifles and stuff go, I think it's even. I'm not sure how armor and all that works. Like if you have really good armor and they have really crappy armor, I don't know if the person with really good armor
How
is going
much
to take longer to
protection?
die. Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
how that works. I thought the game was really good though. I was skipping cutscenes just because I don't want to watch the story now. I want to watch it when the full game is out. So I mean, I guess I can't really talk about that because I did think the story was kind of throwaway. Um, there are some parts where Peter Dinklage was just kind of, he's like, oh hey, there's some enemies there, fight them. Or it's like, where's the
Pan was
enthusiasm?
complaining that it was a guy voice. She said it should have
Yeah,
been a girl.
yeah, I don't know, like, cause I'm so used to playing dudes in games that you always have like that female, like the computers, even in movies and shows, it's always like a female voice is the computer or the AI, and to listen to a dude, you know, kind of
I
give
mean,
you
that is
direct. It's
true.
it's
There,
not as soothing or it's not as I don't know. I don't know.
it's
I
I
mean,
war
wasn't
it's
here.
just
We
comforted
don't
while I'm
need
killing
soothing.
people.
I don't know. It's just a
Sing
little
to me while I
different
murder them.
than it's just a little different getting having knowing who Peter Dinklage is,
I say, but
and
it's Peter Dinklage. Come on now, it's Tyrion. Good
yeah,
old
but
Tyrion.
he's not Cortana. I mean, I don't
Fuck
know.
Cortana.
That guy in the opening did sound like Bill Nighy,
He
though.
did. I swear to God. I
I
swear
that
to
that
him.
was not the guy from The Wire Magic in the little opening. I'm
No,
not sure that was
It's
Bill
the dude
Nighy.
no,
from
I was,
Underworld.
that was just
But
random guess. The guy who
yeah,
plays Daniels is in there though. I don't know if you heard him or not, but
He's in the strike mission
yeah.
yeah.
So why did you and Chrissy think I was gonna hate it, Rand?
because like there's no structure essentially to the game. Like there's no. It just it seems like if you want to get anywhere in the game or do anything, and especially since we looked at the achievements, like it seems like you're gonna have to grind to do a lot of stuff. Not only grind to do a lot of stuff, but also play a shitload of multiplayer to get the stuff for legendary and exotic weapons.
Well, see,
So
I don't think you gave it a fair like. I don't think you judged it fairly. Like, you know what the achievements are. You heard us talking about it and how you'll most likely have to play the game for the achievements, and so you already went into it with a bad taste in your mouth.
Well,
And
I definitely know what he means about the whole like no structure. Like once I left the Citadel area, since that was just straight Mass Effect, there wasn't really like a go here, and I could tell there was other people in the game. They didn't have a clue where they were going. In fact, I found where they were going. Everybody just followed me because I kind of figured it out. But nobody seemed like they knew what they were doing, just running around in circles.
Well, what do you mean? There's an arrow on your mini map that tells
Yeah.
you where to go, and if you hit back, there's a big ass
I'm just
marker
telling you
that
what
tells.
everybody was doing. Everybody was
Who's
standing
everybody?
around. Just like
who's
the random
everybody?
people, just the random people that it threw me in with.
Well, but that's the
But it
game's
doesn't.
fault. That
Wait, hold on. It doesn't throw you in with people. Like you're there to do your own thing. Those other people are there doing their own stuff. They might
Well,
be
yeah, I
doing
mean,
the
but
same
it's a
mission as you.
beta. But
No. D-Way, like this is kind of like okay, so you choose the first mission, right? So the game will then like have an instance where there's like I don't know, 5 other people that are doing it at the same exact time as you, right? So like it puts you in that thing. So they're there doing their own stuff, you're there doing your own stuff. You're not together. I mean,
well, I mean, on some level, you are together because you're all in the same area doing the same mission. You might
Yeah,
not
you
be
could
kill
like
the same
working
boss,
together,
but
but
not,
you know.
not necessarily the same mission though, because there are other like if you notice, I mean, all the missions pretty much take place in that same area. It's just like you go around to different places in that level.
well, yeah, but they're all sectioned off though. Like you're not going to be in the area where that final big like Devil Walker or whatever boss is, and there's someone else doing a completely different mission there. If they're there, they're
yeah,
doing
everybody
that mission.
there was trying to kill that thing. It's like
Yeah,
it was definitely.
I mean, I was to
this is
some
what
degree.
we're trying to do.
Well, if you're talking about the strike, well, that's because when you actually click on it, it's matchmaking. It'll find 6 or 7 other people who are doing that mission to throw you together. But if you're just talking about the regular story missions or the exploration, like it'll just whoever's on that part, it's just they're doing their. I mean, it's your typical MMO stuff. It's just like you're doing a mission, I'm doing a mission, who may be doing the same things, maybe doing something else. It's just there.
Well, I don't know if necessarily, because I mean, what are you doing if you're not doing the same thing in my if I search for the first mission and you search for the first mission and we're both in the same starting area,
Yeah, but
I,
I'm saying somebody could be doing mission 3. Somebody could be doing mission 4. That all takes place in that Russia level area, that big Russia, the old
yeah, but
Russia
that
thing. Like,
you see how huge that area though is though, right? I mean, I don't think you all if I start mission 1 and you start mission 1, you're not going to start right next to me. I mean, sorry, if you start mission 2, you're not going to start right next to me. And you're not going to be going through the same areas that I'll be going through. Maybe we'll cross over at some point a little, but I don't know. For the most part, I think unless you're doing like the Explorer, where you can go around wherever, then yeah, then anyone's doing whatever. But if you search for a mission, the only people you're going to find are people who are doing that same mission. At least I think. I mean, I obviously don't know 100%, but that's how it seems.
They borrowed way too much from Halo too.
really,
So,
I don't think they borrowed anything from Halo.
What? Are you
What?
kidding?
oh well, no, that's
His
a lie.
even Pan saw
No.
it. She was like very much Halo, like the drop ships coming in just like the Covenant
Yeah.
ships, them jumping out the left and right side and shit. The guys.
Oh well, I
opening
mean,
mask and
any
the opening
game,
cutscenes like
anything that has
ODST.
dropships, anything that has
Well, yeah,
dropships
but
coming
even
to drop people off, I guess is a
It
rip
felt
from
exact.
Halo.
It's got the
They
same
even
floaty
look
jump.
similar.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, the landscape looks like Halo. The guns look like Halo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's
everything.
The
nothing-
little
there's
looks
ghost
like
that
Halo
you
to me.
that
Halo,
you
though.
drive.
Well, yeah,
The
I'm not
ghost
saying
thing that
it's
you
a
drive on.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing that it looks like Halo, but I
No.
mean, it definitely resembles your average Bungie
Even
game.
the little, even Peter Dinklage's little robot, little ball thing. Come on, but
Well, yeah, he looks
you
like the
know.
Monitor, and he's obviously this
Yeah.
game's version of Cortana. Just like, it's like, why did you even bother leaving Microsoft if
Yeah.
all you were gonna do was make Halo the MMO? Like,
So, hold on.
Yeah.
So, what
I-
don't you
Fucking-
like about it, DOA?
well, I
Everything.
mean, for starters, yeah, I was say number one, like I said, if you were just gonna make Halo, then you should have just kept making Halo.
Well, yeah,
'Cause
but
this is-
so what? That's a strike against the game just because? I mean,
I mean,
you like
kinda. I
Halo.
mean, you wanted your independence to make the same
Yeah.
fucking thing.
Yeah, but
only
you like
only
Halo
with
though.
MMO. I know, but my point is, if you were just gonna make it, why didn't you just stay and keep making it?
Well,
More
that
money
seems-
is
that
why
seems-
it's why anybody does anything.
But
They're
that seems like
independent, so they
that
can
seems
get more
like a
money.
qualm with the developer, and you're just like giving shit to the game for what your beliefs on the developer.
Oh, well, I mean,
Well,
but
I
the
kind
big
of
thing,
agree
of
with
course, is
DOA.
I don't want all these people in my game. I'm like, get all these people out of here. I hated it right away as soon as there were people following me around and shit. And I'm like don't want any of these people in my story-based game. Versus multiplayer, that's fine. You guys playing co-op with me, that's fine. But all these random strangers, get them the fuck out of here. I don't want any of them in the game.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but
don't
when you
affect
get
your
in,
game,
when
though.
you get
I don't want them
into-
there. Like, they're standing in my doorways and shit. It's like, get out of here. I don't want gamer tags littering all over the fucking map and shit. It's like distracting.
But like 3 or 4 people, I don't know. It's
Well, yeah, well that's the
Compared
thing
to
too. It's
Defiance,
not like
it's
it's
not-
500 people running around. It's like
Yeah.
6.
Well,
at
yeah, I know. I
max.
grant you it's not as bad as fucking World of Warcraft, but I'm not playing that either.
That doesn't bother me. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like Penn said. It's not like they really affect anything.
no. They might actually help you kill the big dude.
I don't know.
Yeah, I
just-
actually think that's the coolest part about the game, but that's just me.
Yeah, see, I hated that. And and the other thing that was Halo was the music. Forgot to say that.
Oh, yeah.
The music was just. It was just like
Similar.
here's the next Halo game. Yeah, it was way too Halo
Yeah.
sounding music.
What did
Although I
you guys think it looked good at least?
I thought it looked good, but it didn't look as good as I thought it would look. I know Pan said the same things. We talked about it briefly earlier, and
Yeah.
she was kind of the same way. I thought it was spotty. Things like the water looked great, but then the trees not so much. Like it was kind of uneven. I mean,
don't know.
maybe
See, I'm
that'll
one of
all-
those people where it's like if the size is there, then little tiny details get a pass. 'Cause
Well, no, it did
Well,
have
no,
good scope.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some great like sweeping scope, to it, like looking down the canyons and shit.
yeah,
Like
I
I'm
mean,
not,
the
I mean,
a
I'm
lot
not
of
saying
the
it was
open
bad.
areas
I
you're
just
in
thought
are
it would have
pretty
been a little bit
big.
better.
I didn't think it was next gen. The cutscenes I thought were great. They looked really good, but the gameplay itself, the graphics and whatnot, is just like most things you'd find. In fact, I think Halo might actually be a little better in graphic wise as far as gameplay goes. But I think that game is going to get compared a lot to Halo because it is similar. You can't say it's not. You know.
Rand didn't think so, but
I don't think it plays anything like Halo. If you think it plays if you
I
think
don't
it plays
think
like
it
Halo,
plays like
then
Halo.
you're blind.
But I mean, okay, well you
it
have
sounds like
you have
Halo.
a
It
shield.
looks like Halo.
You
you know.
have a shield
Doesn't
recharge.
play with no,
You
you don't.
have-
There's no shield recharge.
Yeah, there
Yes,
is. My
there
shield
is.
recharge.
Well, okay, well,
My shield
no,
recharge.
I
Maybe
took
that's
out
your
my
health.
shield recharge.
Okay,
No,
well
no,
maybe that's
tech-
your health.
no,
That's your
technically,
health.
yeah, technically it's not a
Okay,
shield.
well-
That's your health. There's no double.
Okay,
Well,
well
it's
it's
still
still
regenerative.
recharge. Yeah, I'm.
Well, they basically just combined them. It's your health that recharges like it's a shield, and it even has
Yeah.
like the noise.
I mean,
of a
okay,
shield.
yeah, you have a
Yeah.
shield and multiplayer, but like if you're talking, it has the aesthetics of Halo. Okay, well maybe I'd agree with you on that. But other than that, it is absolutely nothing like Halo. Like literally nothing. That's like so all the people that were saying, "Oh, it's Borderlands meets Halo." No, it's Borderlands meets essentially Call of Duty meets fucking Defiance MMO. That's essentially what the game is.
Well, with a Halo skin.
I don't know why you think it didn't
Yeah.
play like. I mean, it had the same floaty jump. I mean, yeah, the shooting mechanics are great, but the shooting mechanics in Halo were great. So I mean,
But so you're literally sitting here and telling me that the game plays like Halo, literally. Sitting with me and you're
I mean, it's
telling
not
me
like,
that.
like I said,
plays like-
when I jump and I'm coming down all floaty, I'm just
Okay,
immediately
so
that's
any
just
game
Halo.
that has a floaty jump now is apparently just like Halo. Gee, all right, well let's mark that
Well,
one
I'm just
off.
saying, if I'm, you know, it's got great shooting mechanics, it's got a floaty jump, it's got the halo of music, it looks like Halo, it's got the fucking, you know, the monitor following me around with a little
Characters.
AI talking to me. I mean, how
Well,
is that not
that's like
Halo?
saying like, oh, this fucking this John Williams movie or whatever, what he does the music for. Well, I like this movie, but it's the same music from his other movies because you can tell it's a John Williams score. Well, no shit, it's the same fucking guy that scored both of them. You stick to what you know. It's a fucking sci-fi fantasy world with sci-fi fantasy
well,
type
let me
electronic
ask-
music, just
let me
like
ask-
Halo. I mean,
Jaws
what do you want it
did
to
not
be?
sound like Star Wars. I mean,
Let me ask you
No.
this, Rand. What specifically stands out from? I mean, obviously the things like it's an open world and there's
Okay,
missions. And
I'll
there's
give you that
places.
some of the stuff that looks like like the Ghost, the Peter Dinklage. Okay, that's 343 monitor. Obviously, it's ripped right from that, right? Like even like some of the guns that the enemies shoot at you, like okay, well that's a needler, or they're shooting needler-like things at you. Okay, like some of the aesthetics of the game and how it looks. Okay, yeah, so an enemy dropship comes in and it drops things off the left and the right. Well, God forbid. I mean, I'm sure other games have done that before Halo and afterwards, but okay, we'll go with that. So it has the aesthetics of Halo. But when I think of Halo, I think of like the shooting, the way it's presented, like the 30 seconds of fun that they always said, like you have the shooting, you have the melee and all that stuff. This game is set up more Call of Duty like meets Borderlands in its combat style. And since the majority of stuff is what you're going to be doing is fighting, that has nothing to do with Halo. Even the multiplayer does not feel like Halo. The multiplayer feels more like Call of Duty to me. Or, you know, like on a small scale like Call of Duty, because you do die instantly, and you don't die instantly in Halo. Like, Halo, the battles could go on for a while because you work someone's shields off, then you gotta work their health off. It's not like it in this. Like, when you go out there and you fight those Fallen, you'll run into a bunch of shitty enemies that you can kill instantly. Just like you can in Borderlands, because they're just mobs of enemies that anybody can mow down. Right? But then you get the tougher enemies. But those last a little bit longer than normal elite fights because it's just there to soak up damage. Right? Like those like huge ultra dudes with the yellow bars. In Halo, elites had their own like attack patterns. They're tough to fight because they're actually smart AI. They dive out of the way. They try to flank you. They take you could get their shields off, but if you don't kill them, they'll get their shields back. So then you got to waste ammo. This game is more essentially this like the straight up like we're going to use the bullet sponge type stuff. So you have all these other enemies that you can kill really fast, but then you have that one raid boss that fucking just takes a shitload of damage. He's not good AI because he just stands there and shoots at you because he has a fucking a huge health bar.
well,
So
yeah,
to
he's
me,
a tank.
yeah, to me, it's nothing like Halo. Like that's the first thing when I started playing, I'm like, this is nothing like Halo.
Those
Well,
little
Gameplay
Gameplay
wise.
doesn't
out
have
of
the
the
enemy
way.
AI.
They don't
and it
just
doesn't,
stand there.
I mean,
Yeah, they
doesn't
do.
seem like it's gonna
The
have the
huge
story.
dude
Not.
just stands there. The fucking guy
Maybe
with
the big
he
guy,
just-
but not the
But
like
those
the,
other guys are just they're just fodder. They're just there for you
I
to
mean,
like
to me
feel
that
good about
seems like-
killing things.
that seems like too specific a detail to compare. Like the enemy AI doesn't pass the same way in this. I mean, that just seems like way too specific. We're talking general comparisons from Halo and Destiny. Because in that sense, you're like, oh well, Halo has regular loading screens, while Destiny it's flying in a spaceship, so it's completely different. I mean, yeah, it's different, but in a general sense, they're pretty comparable.
Oh, quick question, because Pan didn't know that. How the fuck do you quit out of that game? Because I just gave up and hit the
Just
guide
go to
button
the
and quit it.
dashboard. Yeah.
I was gonna
I
say,
don't know
it's
how
like a
to
mini
quit
mall
that
parking
game.
lot. It doesn't want to let
Same
you
way I
out.
quit
Wait,
out of
what?
everything.
I was gonna say, what
Fucking
do you mean? How do you
hit
quit
the
out of Call
guide.
of Duty? There's no quit button
Yeah, but
on
when I
Call of
pressed
Duty.
start, I didn't see any like return to main menu,
Yeah,
like
there's no
anywhere.
menu.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know, it was
Well,
just
first
like,
of all, there isn't a main menu, first of all, but you can press, you go to start and you go to settings, and there's two different options. One says switch profile and one says log out.
Well, yeah, I did the
yeah, I
log out,
clicked
but
on
nothing
log out,
happened.
but it wasn't. Yeah, there was still no
Yeah.
like return option when you went to log out.
No, no, log out was like, it's switch character
Yeah, and it was like switch profile.
yeah, switch
Yeah.
profile.
I'm like, I don't want to switch character or profile. I want to fucking go back to the menu. Get out of here. Oh, fuck it, just quit. I don't care.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
I mean,
know.
how is that any different than like Call of Duty? You're telling me it's that big of an issue? You want to see the main menu button before you hit your home button and quit?
I don't know. As a
What's the
general
difference?
rule, because so many games these days just have saves that pop up randomly, I always pretty much go to the main menu before I close out a game.
Well, then you log
Because I don't
out.
want to.
You switch, go to the switch character. It brings you to your three characters or however many you have, and then you just quit from there. That's,
Well,
Okay,
that
well, see, that
and
wasn't
like
clear. Like, I thought it was just going to be like switch character on the fly or something.
oh
But
no
yeah.
no no! It brings you back to like the main menu. Like if you start up the game now after you've made a character, the first thing you'll see is which character do you want to play as. It'll bring you back to that screen, which is basically as far back as you go.
I think they're going to keep that whole like mouse feel to the menus.
I mean,
Yes.
I don't know if I necessarily like the mouse feel, but I like the fact that it's not traditional menus. It's not a traditional load screen. You know, it's not traditional like here, watch this blank image while we have a little loading bar in the bottom corner. I like the whole spaceship thing. I don't know. I kind of like that. I mean, the mouse thing, it's new, whatever. I'll get used to it, but I like that there's no traditional loading.
I like the powers and all the stuff you can use. I will say though, I just playing Halo, I missed my sticky grenades and not then having to sit there and wait for that thing to recharge can get a little annoying, but
Well, yeah, but
I
isn't that
think
probably part of leveling up, like you'll get
yeah,
more grenade options and faster
yeah.
reload and all
Well,
that.
and it's just the fact that you can also have like six different grenades that you can switch to on the fly.
Yeah.
And when you're playing, I think it's more of a campaign thing because when you're playing against in the campaign, those grenades are pretty damn strong. Maybe not so much for multiplayer, but if you just had the ability to constantly pick up more grenades and there's this gigantic vortex you're throwing every time you throw one,
Yeah.
that'd just be way too overpowered.
I do like
And that's
the fact
only
you can
the
keep all your
first one.
weapons,
There's
too.
like 6 upgrades past that, so I can't even think what the last one would be. It'd be gigantic
Yeah.
nuke that goes off when you throw your grenade.
How long do you think the campaign will actually be for that game?
Like the actual missions, not the.
Yeah, I guess.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
like going through this main story. I guess if there is a main story.
There's a main story.
Okay, well, it wasn't too clear to me. I mean, you kind of get found. He's told you've been dead a long time. Now you're all of a sudden you're a guardian within seconds, and you're out
Mhm.
doing missions. It's like, okay.
Because you were a guardian before you died.
Okay, well, he said dead a long
I,
time ago.
I wouldn't. I
didn't-
mean, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know how long it'd be, but I'm assuming it'd be a normal length. I don't, normal length of a average retail game. I don't think it'd be any shorter or any longer. Maybe a little longer.
I don't know. So we got 3 likes and 1 dislike. Is that what I'm gathering? All of y'all are going to be buying it.
Yeah,
Oh
and
yeah.
the one dislike comes from the guy who thought Battlefield Hardline was a good idea, but no one else in the entire
Oh,
country thought it was a good idea. including
I didn't think it was
EA.
a good idea. I was just glad to see not another military shooter, even though
It
I know
is
it
a
is. I know
military
it's,
shooter.
I know. I realize all that. I'm very aware that it's the same game that it
Yes,
always
but
was.
you say
I
that,
just
but
like
then
the
you
cops and robbers skin better than
I
a
was gonna
bunch of
say
guys in camo.
you say that, but then you talk about you like that it's not You can't have both. You can't say you understand, but you like it anyways or something.
I just like the fact that it's not all military, like I said. I mean, I just think there's way too many military shooters out there, so I'm glad to see it in a cops and robbers
So
skin.
please slap a cops and robber skin on it, and thank you very much, because now it's completely different. That's what
Wait,
you
if y'all
said.
think it's so much the same, how come you're not excited for it? Because I thought y'all liked Battlefield.
Well, I did. Well,
I mean, I'm just saying,
Battlefield's
y'all always
okay
act
to
like you
me.
like Battlefield, but then you're like shitting on this one. I
well,
mean,
okay. Well, first of all, the last Battlefield, to me, maybe at first it seemed pretty cool, but once I played it a little bit more, it wasn't as great as some of the other ones. Battlefield 3, I thought was much better than 4.
do
And
you
you
agree
know,
with this, Rand?
Do I agree with what?
That that 4 was a letdown.
that 3 was better than 4.
I mean, are we what multiplayer wise?
Yeah, multiplayer.
I guess. In general, I haven't played them, so.
I mean, I don't know. They're both kind of the same to me. I mean, the only thing that 4 had going for it was the gigantic 64 and 64 servers. But I mean, the game was broken. I essentially played the game by myself because I couldn't play with friends, which kind of makes the default Battlefield 3 better,
Well,
right? I
not
mean,
only
if you
that,
can't
but
play with your
the
friends.
whole selling point was Levolution, and it seemed like it had much more of an impact when they first announced it than it actually did. You know, a building coming down, it's like, okay, well, now this check objective or whatever is a little different. You know, or okay, well, now there's a little flood, there's some water, but I don't know. That just seems like your first couple of days playing it does seem cool, seeing how things change for the first time, but after that, it's just like whatever. Just there's water. There's gonna be water. Expect water. Oh, here's the water. It's just like it doesn't matter. I don't know that, and then the single player is always usually pretty throwaway.
Yeah,
That's
well,
one
the
thing.
single player is better in 4, but it's still not very good. But to me, Hardline just looks like,
Well, Hardline
hey,
looks worse to me.
well, it works worse, and it's just like, hey, we made a skin for Battlefield 4,
I
and
say
now
you
it's
say
just
why are we not excited for this one when it's the same thing, but it's the same thing but worse is how it looks to me.
plus they
Well,
go
first
with
of
like,
all,
well,
I'm
it's
not
cops and
excited for the
robbers.
game. I just thought it looked a little bit cooler than the other ones. But I mean, saying I'm excited for it is definitely not true. I'm not. I'm hardly counting the days. I probably won't even play it, especially if y'all don't play it, because I mean, the only reason to play would be play with my friends. But if none of y'all are gonna play it, well then fuck that game. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Hopefully
so
pushing it
speaking
back
of
till
that,
next year would be
the,
better.
the what do you think of this delay, Rand? Don't let me down.
Do I think of the delay?
Are you as cynical about it as I am?
Did
Well,
DOA tell you his cockamamie theory with his while he has his tin hat on?
no, I don't think so.
Yeah,
No,
well,
I
let's
So I
didn't
hear
talk
it.
mean,
to Rand
when I
yesterday.
when I saw it, I was like, okay, so they delayed Dragon Age because it probably wasn't having enough traction in October, so they delayed it to November. But it's like, well,
Which sucks.
Battlefield probably wasn't getting the pre-order numbers they thought it should, so they probably like, we'll just delay it till next year when there's less games coming out. But I don't know if that's necessarily true because when it's supposed to come out next year is when Batman and Witcher and Bloodborne and all those other games are coming out. So, I mean,
Well,
I,
and
I
that
don't know
also
push it
makes
down.
it that also makes it that much closer to Dice's game for next year.
that's fine. I really don't think there's gonna be a lot of crossover between Battlefront and Hardline.
I do. I think it's gonna be pretty much the entire Battlefield fan base is gonna just move on over. Maybe
So
if.
he's not looking at it nearly as cynical as I was.
Alright, well, go ahead and tell everyone your crazy theory.
It's not great. I think it was always coming out in 2015, and that October release date was bullshit from the get-go, just so they could delay it after the whole fan reaction last year. About them shipping a broken game. It just feels like a publicity stunt to me, and it was never ever at any point going to come out in October. And
Mm.
it was just to delay it just so they could get the press of see we care about you fans and we want to
Well,
ship
that
you a
would
good
work,
game.
except they haven't gotten any press for that. So then, Nobody's.
Well, I mean, it was the delay was on all the gaming sites. What do you mean?
Well, of course, because Battlefield's a huge franchise, so of course they're going to announce the news that it was delayed. I think it was delayed because it was like you don't miss the holiday season just because of some stupid thing. They wanted that game out in October because that's their huge time. That's when they sell the most amount of games. It just either wasn't ready, so they had to delay it, or like I said, maybe it's the same reason with Xbox One. Why'd they get rid of all those DRMs and stuff? With the pre-order numbers. Pre-order numbers were shit, so I gotta get rid of it. I guarantee you those pre-order numbers for Battlefield were probably shit too. People played like it's like the differing opinion between Battlefield and Destiny, right? People play the Destiny beta and they fall in love and they can't wait to play it and they pre-order it and they have all their friends get it. Now it looks like it's going to sell exactly what Activision thought it was going to sell. They come out with the Battlefield Hardline beta and everybody fucking hates it and now nobody wants to play it. So it's like it completely backfired on them.
Well, I was
So
saying the other day,
Did they
like,
have the beta?
Yeah,
It's on
it was
PC
on
and PS4
PlayStation,
and
yeah.
PlayStation, but
And everybody hated
everybody hated it. It was terrible. So I'm assuming EA was probably like, shit, this could kill the Battlefield franchise essentially. Exactly what DICE was worried about when they had all those quotes about how they would never do this and stuff. And it's just funny that Battlefield has fallen this far.
But aren't you guys' complaints always like Call of Duty? You play the same thing, just a different.
Yeah, but change isn't good
scenario.
for the sake of change. If it's not good change, then who gives a shit?
Well, but you complain that Call of Duty never changes. It's the same shooter for year after year, and then a company actually tries to change it up, and then you complain that it's just too far off of what Battlefield used to be. I don't think you can have it both ways. You can't have what you're
Battlefield
used to
didn't
playing,
change.
and
It's
then
still-
you change, and then you don't like it, so then they go back to the
Yeah, but they
typical
were
shooter
saying
again.
it's just a skin. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's a skin, and it doesn't have as many features as Battlefield. From what I've seen, they basically took the game, stripped it down, threw a skin on it, and here you go.
Right.
I mean
But
that's
it's made by
change
the
in a
Dead
bad
Space
way.
people. Come on.
I'm
And I
saying,
rather would have a Dead Space game, a new Dead Space game.
Well, not gonna argue with that.
Oh, but EA made them kill off their own franchise, so yeah.
Is it really dead? Because I thought not too long ago they were talking about bringing it back already.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if this Battlefield Hardline bombs, and then they're like, oh, we had to, over a company-wide restructuring, we had to lay off everybody at Visceral.
That would suck.
It
I
would,
wasn't happy
but I'm
about
just...
the Dragon Age delay because now it comes out the same day as Far Cry. Like, god damn it! I
Oh,
wanted it
Dragon
all-
Dragon Age got delayed?
Yeah, I got delayed till November 18th.
yeah, now it's
whatever.
coming out the same day
Aw.
as Far Cry 4 and the retail release of The Wolf Among Us, which I'll be getting that.
Fine by me. I wasn't going to be playing Dragon Age for a while anyway, so it
I
doesn't
was
matter.
like, well, now I guess I'm playing Alien Isolation on the 7th. I was just gonna play Dragon
How
Age,
many
but
more
never mind.
October games do you think are going to get delayed? Because there's quite a few.
I hope that this is the just beginning of many moves for games in October. There's too many.
There's too many.
Too many.
Go broke.
Well, those are two big moves. I just wish Dragon Age had either stayed the same or gone back to like December or something.
I mean, Dragon Age was on the 7th, right? But even without that, there's still 4 big games that are coming out on the 7th.
Yeah.
Aliens, Shadow of Mordor, NBA Live, and NBA 2K15.
well, I don't know if I'd call live.
Well,
I'm
I
trying
don't
to
know
think
about
what
the
other
NBA
games
one.
are moving. Alien's
But
not moving.
I
don't
wouldn't
think Lord of the
consider it.
Rings
I wouldn't
isn't
consider it
moving.
some tiny game like Fantasia Music Evolved either. I mean, it's bigger
Well,
than
no,
something like
but-
that.
What'd you say, Rand?
I don't really think we're gonna see a lot. Assassin's Creed's not moving. Alien Isolation and Lord of the Rings aren't moving.
Well, yeah, it's the smaller stuff. Like
The
Lords of the
basketball
Fallen
games
and-
aren't moving.
Well, the
Evolve
basketball games
might.
make sense because you want to come out at the start of the season.
Right, I'm
so-
just saying I don't really see a lot of other games. Evolve, that's not moving either.
I mean,
I mean,
what,
I-
you think they got too cocky now after all that stuff? They're just gonna stay?
Who basketball? The
No,
Evolve,
Evolve.
or
Yeah.
no? I mean, from everybody says the people who've actually played it says it's the best game coming out at the end of the year. Like, so I really doubt.
Well, oh yeah, but tell that to the millions of people who are gonna buy Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed. I mean, it
Well, that's
doesn't matter
fine,
if people
but
think
Evolve will
it's-
be coming out before
But
those
I
games.
think
So
I
like
think
2
I
weeks
think more
before.
people might play Evolve more over Assassin's Creed because there's been a shitload of Assassin's Creed. This is a new game. It's kind of like Sunset Overdrive. It's new. It's not the typical Call of
Yeah, but
Duty.
Assassin's Creed always sells like 6 to 8 million. I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, sure. I'm not saying it's not
I
going to
don't know.
sell.
I don't.
I don't know if
think
Evolve
Evolve
will
and
do it that
definitely
big,
Sunset
but
won't eclipse
Evolve to me
Assassin's
is like
Creed.
Left 4 Dead, except with dinosaurs, which is different.
Dinosaurs.
dinosaurs.
Well, there's dinosaurs, was there not? I mean, there's dinosaurs in that, right?
There's
I would call them
monsters.
monsters. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
would say a dinosaur.
whatever. I swore one looked like a T-Rex, but I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've seen the trailer. But
I mean, Left 4 Dead was pretty big, so I don't know. It might do. It might do well.
Did you see that
I
thing
think it
ran
would.
that? I guess the last Battlefield DLC got delayed.
Probably, so they put it in that spot where Battlefield Hardline was supposed to come up.
Oh, you think that's why they're just gonna bring out that DLC in October?
I don't know if they'll wait all the way to October, but I wouldn't be surprised if they pushed it back a little bit farther. I mean, from all the reports though, the two games that got delayed, like Dragon Age and Battlefield, were the ones that had the least amount of pre-orders. So I mean, it's kind of like
Really, Dragon Age had shit pre-orders? I thought there was a lot of fans for that game.
Dragon Age, but you don't understand. Dragon Age 2 to a lot of people was fucking terrible, and they swore off the franchise. So
I was never interested in Dragon Age. I played the first one for about 10 minutes and I
What?
didn't care for it.
oh, it was good. I mean, granted, the combat is a little different than most games, but it's a
Oh,
good
it was KOTOR
RPG.
combat.
Yeah, it's still a good RPG series.
I would probably like it because, in its defense, I also did the same thing with Oblivion, which I'm almost positive if I went back and played Oblivion now, I would like it. That was just so long ago when I first played it.
I was a different
Elder
gamer then.
Scroll.
I was. I played Oblivion. I don't know if you remember, you start off in this cave. And it's like you walk forward and there's a rat and you kill the rat and then you can eat the rat. And then you walk forward, there's another rat and you kill it and you can eat it. And then you get out of the cave. Right when I got out of the cave, I stopped playing.
What?
Stupid. I'm just eating rats.
So yeah, I mean, but I loved Skyrim though. That was one of my favorite games of all time and favorite game of that year. And so I'm almost positive I would like Oblivion now if I went back. But
It always killed me that you never went back and gave Mass Effect. The
well,
whole
yeah, that
trilogy.
too. Well, yeah, I mean, see, all these games they're old. It wasn't too much farther when Dragon Age came out. That was only a few years later. So yeah, my tastes were different back then.
I don't
Oh,
really
'cause I
blame
remember
you on
you
the
liked
first
Nier.
Mass Effect. So
What?
knowing Magic,
Come on,
he
you're
would have
landing
knowing
on the
Magic.
planets.
Knowing Magic,
it's-
he would have hated the first Mass Effect. The combat in that game is so piss poor.
Yeah.
Like
Dude,
that
you
game
like
was more of an
Nier.
RP.
Nair had piss poor combat.
I'm just saying, Magic would have liked Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3, which are much more of shooter games. Like the first
Nair
Mass
was a
Effect was
diamond in the
strictly
rough, damn it.
a space RPG, and with like shit ass combat and shit ass exploration, right?
Yeah.
But a great
It's like,
story
oh.
and a great other things. Magic wouldn't
Oh,
have stood for it.
By shit
Yeah.
exploration, I assume you mean driving that little.
Driving the
Thing
Mako and the
around the
same
Well,
ass
that
fucking
and there was
unex-
nothing there. I mean, here,
Exactly.
ooh, we're on
Shit
a red
exploration.
planet. Now we're on a blue planet. Ooh, it's gray.
Yeah, shit
And
exploration.
occasionally there might be some space monkeys, but that's about
I'm just
it.
saying, like, you just pretty much, like I said, shit exploration. That's what it is. He would have liked the second two much better, but
Oh, I think he would have loved the second and third one. Because, he's
You
right up
didn't
his
play
alley.
any of them? None.
He
tried
didn't-
the first one.
Yeah, I tried the first one and I have never played the second or third.
Story-wise, I still think Mass Effect series is probably one of the better series story-wise. Really good.
And this is when Rand says, except for that ending.
yeah, ending blows.
A 60,
Well-
70-hour game. The story better be goddamn amazing. If I don't like the combat, even
Wow.
then, that's not good enough to me. If I gotta spend that long to finish the story out, and I'm hating it the whole way through, like the combat wise, then
I don't think it takes 60 or 70 hours. I think you're looking at
The
achievement
first
wise,
one did if you
maybe.
were going for the 1,000 because you had to beat it 3 times.
Yeah, well, that's achievement wise, yeah, but
well, yeah, but
I
at the
mean,
same time, I don't really play open-ended games like that, just running from story mission to story mission. I'd be doing side
oh
stuff
yeah.
too. I mean, maybe not every little thing, but I'd be doing side missions and you know, looting and all that type of stuff.
Hmm. Did your Call of Duty achievement ever unlock, Ryan?
No.
Oh, what? I thought it had 100% locked on it.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. It just means that it'll unlock at some point in time.
Or
That
maybe not.
gargantuan achievement glitched on me in Plants vs Zombies.
What one did?
That gargantuan one. It's in Garden Ops. It's like one of the bosses.
Oh,
The
what,
one
you
that,
killed it and it never unlocked?
yeah, it doesn't have that 100% locked when I compare games either. On
So have
TA
you
though, when
killed
I go to
another one?
that, oh, I've killed like 30 of them. Like on TA, you know how they have their own achievement tracker thing.
Well,
Like
they
the green
don't. They just
bars.
use smart glasses. A TA thing.
Oh, well, see, that's just weird because on TA it's got the full green bar like I completed it, but then when I compare games it just says locked.
Well, what does your smart glass say?
I don't know. I didn't check Smart Glass. I just compared games and saw it said locked.
Speaking of Call of Duty, did you guys see that Neversoft is merged with Infinity Ward now? That was official about 2 days ago.
I don't know. I missed that.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
saw. They can make more Call of Duty stuff. It's exactly what this world needs.
Well, they were already working on Extinction for Ghost, but now they're just
Oh,
basically the
oh.
company doesn't exist now, and all their guys just are part of Infinity Ward now. Yep,
I
them
mean,
with the other 15 developers that work on Call of Duty.
does that mean no more Tony Hawk and Guitar Hero?
Probably.
When have they made a? I mean, it's been a while since they made a Guitar Hero.
Well, yeah,
And they did.
Guitar Hero's
I
been
think
dead, but they
that's
did have
dead. Yeah.
Yeah, but I
the
thought they had plans to bring that series back or something.
I have no idea about that. I
I
never
don't know.
cared about Guitar Hero.
I don't know. They were kind of fun back in the day until they brought out one a month, and then everybody just got bored of it, including me. I don't know. I just looked on Smart Glass Rand. It says 0%.
Hmm.
So I don't know where TA is getting that shit from.
Well, maybe it'll unlock at some point in time.
Shitty, shitty.
I
Now
had
you
to wait
guys,
like a week and a half for my another world achievement to unlock.
Yeah, but that unlocked for everybody at the same time.
So Rogue has a glitched achievement in Call of Duty as well. Remember?
Yeah, I think he had a glitched one in Plants vs Zombies also. His level 10, like getting a character to level 10, that didn't pop for him. So yeah, he was pretty aggravated. Two glitch achievements in 2 different games in a row.
Zach one though, dude, was so awesome, right? So awesome. So awesome with their achievements.
Oh yeah,
no,
did you?
none of us really played Dota 2, but did you guys see the team that won the Dota 2 championships? They won
Were they
5
Korean?
million. Nope,
$5 million.
Chinese.
Chinese,
They
they
were
get a million
Chinese.
each.
They got
Hey,
$1 million each.
Yep.
5-member team, million apiece.
that's crazy.
That is ridiculous. The second place team split 1.5 million. So I mean, it's not like they were getting chump change. And
I
it
would say,
was
oh, those poor bastards.
the I'm not sure how much they showed, but they had it going on ESPN too when it was in the championships. I think maybe just the final match they were doing, but yeah, they had it on ESPN. There was a lot of people on Twitter bitching about how it's not a sport and it shouldn't be on ESPN and what the hell are they showing on ESPN?
Bunch of butthurt people.
A bunch of bros like, what the fuck is this?
Where's my Call of Duty on ESPN?
What are these little Chinese nerds doing on ESPN?
Did you see the what's his name talking about the future updates where he wants to improve loading times and installation?
Good.
Phil Spencer.
Yeah.
In Phil we trust.
Think he
Everyone
can
is on
actually
that
do
guy
it?
now.
I'm just wondering what kind of update would suddenly like drastically improve that stuff.
Well, let's not give him too much credit. It's not can he do it. It's can they do it.
Well, yeah, I know, but I mean, he's obviously got the teams working on it or whatever.
I mean, they've been doing updates every month, haven't they?
Yeah, I know, but this is different. I mean, you're trying to improve loading times across like all games, I assume.
I don't know. See, I don't know if you've noticed between a game that has a 360 and an Xbox One version, almost always the next gen version has longer loading screens just because it has more assets to load in. You know, the game looks better, has more assets everywhere around the map, so it takes longer to load versus 360. You know, it's just underpowered, so it doesn't have to load
I
as
think he
much.
also was mentioned about install times too, because on
Well, I said
PlayStation
that.
you can but you could start playing Destiny within like 15 seconds. You know,
Do you think
not
that's
so.
what he means? Because I don't see how it would suddenly write to the hard drive faster when you pop the disc in.
Well, somehow it does it on the PlayStation where you can.
Well, no, but I mean, I'm talking about just being able to do the ready to start sooner. You know, a lot of
Sure.
games, like it's ready to start at like 2%.
They
versus
talked about
25%.
but when the system first launched, remember when people were saying how long it was to fully install these games and start playing it? That was one of the things they talked about, how in the future they want to make that like a lot lower.
See, but
Because at the time, like PlayStation was like showing off like how you could like put in Killzone and it would like you could start playing it within 20 seconds. And it's true from like almost every PlayStation game. You can start
See,
playing
but
it
I
like
don't like that
instantly.
because it's a developer thing. It's not something Microsoft can universally change for every game. They're not
Yeah, it
all
is.
this. No, it's not because
Yes, it is. That's just part of the SDK. It's the tools that Microsoft gives developers to use.
well, but
That's
see, the
all it
thing
is.
is, if you're installing an entire game at 60 gigs and you're telling me I'm gonna be able to play it in 20 seconds, you're telling me when I get on the game I have full access to everything that's
Well, you may
available.
not have full access to everything, but I mean,
Well,
hell,
well
like
then it's
how long it
pointless.
took 45? No, it's
Well,
not, because if you're playing Alien Isolation and you could start playing it from the first level,
oh,
who
well,
cares if the rest
well,
of it
see,
is
well,
like
that's why I
downloading in
said
the background?
it's a game by game basis because like when I got on 2K when the system first came out and I got on NBA 2K14, the only thing I could do was quick match. I couldn't play my career, I couldn't play my team, I couldn't play online.
Right.
All
I
I
know
could
that,
do
but I'm
was
just saying
play
on the
a quick
PlayStation
match.
you can choose what you want to be downloaded first. You want to download the multiplayer first, or you want to download the single player first. So you
Well,
choose like
that's
multiplayer. So then if you want to do multiplayer first, it'll download enough to where based on like your speed and all that stuff so it's like okay you can
what, and
start playing, and then you go into multiplayer.
that's not a game by game basis. Every single game has every single game like feature of the game an option to which one you want to install first. What if I want to play co-op first?
Well, then you would install the single player co-op thing first.
Well, yeah, but then that's installing, like the entire first two maps, and I don't know. It's just I never use that feature. It just seems like I don't want to start up a half-broken game because not everything's loaded in. I mean, it wasn't only on 2K that they could only play quick match. Half the options in the menu were gone. Like the main menu wasn't even done yet. I mean, it's just like a half complete game you're popping in. I just don't trust it. I don't want to start it that way. Let me know when the complete game is ready. Thank you. I don't want the half broken piece of shit that you can tell me I can try it out now.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm indifferent.
I mean, if
I
you're
have
telling me
nothing to say on
if
this.
you're telling me I can install the entire game faster, then yeah, I'm all for that. I'm all for installing 50 gigs of NBA 2K on my hard drive and having it not take 2 hours.
I don't know. None of this matters to me. Like everybody talks about the pre-installing, but I mean, any game I was that excited for, I'd never buy digitally anyway. The only games I buy digitally are like games in passing. Like I'm bored and nothing from Game
Yeah,
Pass
because
lets
we all
me,
know you'd rather buy the shitty games digitally for some odd reason,
Damn right.
which doesn't make any sense. You wouldn't want to
Yeah,
buy
it doesn't
shitty
make
games in the
any
first
sense,
place.
yeah.
Well, it also goes to the collector whore in him who just wants a case on a shelf.
I think I'm buying.
Games, though.
I think
Well,
I'm
then-
buying Destiny on demand. I'm gonna
Well,
buy it
then-
digitally.
Then why do you say it's you only if you were excited for it that much you would buy it? Why?
Because I just prefer the disc format and going to the
Why?
store and I
You
just do.
prefer going to the store?
Well, if I'm that excited for a game, I mean, I'll be at the midnight release, and there's usually like maybe I want the limited edition. Not most of the time, but occasionally.
That sounds
And
like all collector stuff to me. Well, the limited edition part, that's a collector's item, like I said.
well, I mean, some games have pre-order bonuses, and if I'm that
Digital.
excited for a game, I usually want it.
Well, okay, I mean, I'll give you that. But it looks like they're going to start having digital pre-order bonuses. Destiny does.
I mean, I do like the convenience of digital, not having to swap discs and
I
everything.
mean, I'm not
but-
I'm not all for digital either. I'm just saying that when you're talking about if you're that excited for a game, then retail is so much better because you're excited for it. I don't really agree with that.
Well, no, I shouldn't be buying digital at all, except for arcade games. But I get bored. It gets the better of me.
Yep, it's all your
Don't want
fault
to wait.
when everything goes digital. It's all
Well,
your
my
fault.
fear is down the road it'll be the movie industry, like in 10 years, where it'll be like it'll come out digitally a month before it hits stores, and that'll be fucking key. So,
Well, I mean, they could do that.
well, I mean that's how the movie industry's gone. I mean now all the movies are out like a month.
Yeah, but the
earlier.
movie industry also they make all their money from the show at the theater, and then they make their money from the DVDs and rentals, and then they make their money from the TV stuff. So it's like they have multiple avenues of doing that. They could afford to delay the rentals and all that crap because they make all their monies and like games. They're still just you have one avenue of making money, and that's buying it, and that's it.
Well, I get delaying a rental copy because you want to encourage people to buy it, but delaying like the DVD and the Blu-ray so the digital's out for weeks in advance, I don't know. I don't care for that. I mean, I get because they just want to cut out the middleman. It seems.
Well, yeah. I mean,
More
I
profit
mean,
that
just
way.
saying. Yeah, but like Rad said, they make all their money, most of their money in the theater anyway. I mean, how many movies get sequels based on video sales is quite rare. Pacific Rim being one of the more recent examples, but
so Microsoft needs to put their games in theaters first. Is what you're saying? Bring back
well, no, I'm just
games.
saying that 10 years down the road, or maybe less, I worry that everything's going to be like digital, or you have to wait. Would be like the last step to getting rid of physical completely. So, or at least I mean, not completely. I mean, you can still buy CDs to this day, so I'm sure it won't go away.
I
completely,
really
but-
wouldn't like that, but it wouldn't change too much for my day-to-day gaming because that might affect things like I don't know, big October November games or something, or like Destiny. I mean, I'm fairly excited for Destiny now. If you told me I couldn't play it for 2 weeks unless I bought it digitally, then I'd probably just buy it digitally. But I mean, that would only go so far. It's a lot easier to rent games and trade in retail games to buy games cheaper and things like that. Where
Well, yeah, I still rent most of my games. Just
yeah.
wait for the day that you have to wait a month where it's only available digitally, and like you have to wait a month to rent it or buy it in a store, and then the game start throwing in an achievement that has to be gotten the first like month it's out.
Well, I don't care about fucking one achievement or 2 or 10.
Well, I know
you.
you don't, but a lot of people would. That would piss off a lot of people if
Well,
they started doing that.
It wouldn't even matter with digital. I mean, they could do it right now where they just made it so you can't rent new games until a month after release, digital or not.
They could easily have like an achievement that only comes with like the base game, like digitally. They
Oh,
really
like a
wanted
card
to.
inside. Scan this to get your free achievement or something.
I mean, they could just make it like for Destiny. They just I don't know somehow force GameFly and other rental companies that they can't rent it out until a month later. I mean, I don't even know if that's even possible, but legally speaking, but it seems like they probably could.
So, what did everybody think of last week's episode?
Episode.
Yeah, our podcast. Did y'all listen to
Oh.
it?
I was thinking you're talking about a TV show.
No,
I'm like, of what show? Hello, what?
our show. This show. I can't listen to it because I don't like listening to myself. I tried to listen to it. I'm like, oh god.
I thought you guys did good.
Yeah, I know what
liked
you mean.
it.
You sounded fucking stupid.
It's just my voice, because my voice doesn't sound anything like that to me.
Your voice, my voice doesn't sound anything like that. I'm listening to myself talking right now, and I sound like a fucking chipmunk on the thing.
Chipmunk.
I'm telling you, my
remember
voice is way
Yes.
higher over a mic. You go talk to anyone that I know in person. That's the way. I don't sound super high pitched.
No, but I mean,
That's better than going in multiplayer matches and especially playing Halo like early on. Well, maybe that had to do with my gamer tag too. But oh, you're just a little boy. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Oh, get out of here! No one
Can't
said
tell
that
the
to you.
difference. I'm serious though.
Those
you
were
can't tell the
idiots
difference
then,
between-
because you don't have a little teenage 12-year-old high-pitched girl's voice. That's the only people
No,
say that.
no, it was like well, no, but they're like, oh, you're just a little boy. But I think it had more to do with my gamer tag.
Speaking of your gamer tag, I have a theory on how it works.
Are you talking
Yes.
about the?
Yes. So
Oh God.
it's OVO, Pandora OVO, right? And
Yeah.
the O's are lowercase and the V's are capitalized, and there's spaces in between. OVO space Pandora space OVO, right? All right. So the OVO, picture the O's as butt cheeks.
Butt cheeks.
Yeah,
Oh, I
okay,
thought you were
okay.
gonna say something else.
So picture, so it's like two. So Pan's a little older, just a little older. So picture it's two girls on either side of Pandora, and Pandora's in the middle. And so it's two girls like laying on their back with their legs up, and their butt cheeks are super wide, spread apart somehow.
What
And
are
so
you
the V is like their legs sticking straight up in the air, and then the O with like the butt cheeks on the bottom, and then Queen Bee Pandora is right in the center of them. Like, yeah, that's right, bitches.
I just thought it was a dick between her tits, but I was just gonna let it ride.
Oh, a dick between. Oh, jeez.
What?
You guys are so. Well, I thought you guys were gonna say it's my boobs and vagina, but you know, 'cause that's what I get a lot. But you guys are so
That's what I get a lot.
wrong.
That's
It's
what
not
everybody
even
I don't know. I like the
It's not
super
even
wide
close.
butt cheek idea better.
super wide butt cheek. I just thought there was
Magic's an
a
ass
cool
man.
bookend. Pretty boring.
There's circles,
You
it's
guys-
an ass.
You guys read way more into it than I ever did.
Well, how'd you come up with it anyways? Let's hear it.
The OVO?
The whole thing.
Well,
More Pandora
actually-
than the OVO.
huh?
That sounds like a Halo thing. Like my old gamer tag had two eyes on the side, at either end of it.
Well, I think Pandora was taken, and I didn't like X's for bookends, and I thought, I've never seen OVO. I thought it was a cool looking bookend, that's all.
See, that's
That's
that
all.
Halo talking right there. X's.
You just cut Gambit deep, talking shit about the X's.
That's how it was back on
Well,
Halo 2,
X's
man.
are
Everybody
all-
had that.
X's are all bookends. I mean, there's no original, like, unique bookends. I mean, you might see some zeros or O's, but
Or
usually
I's.
it's X's.
But why
Yeah.
Pandora?
Yeah,
Please
that's
don't
the
say
main part.
Avatar.
Why Pandora?
Well, when I changed my old gamer tag, which I don't know if I should say it or not, but
Yeah, the
I
pervy
just
one.
was. Yeah. I mean,
to the
I
boys.
wasn't thinking. Well, okay, I was kind of thinking perv, but not. It was more of a taunt. But I just got tired of all the stupid messages about it. So
It was like, come
When-
get it, boys, or something like that, right?
come and get
No,
me,
that's
boys.
her
Yeah.
dummy tag.
Yeah. Well, that was my original tag though, but now it's just a dummy. Yeah. But when I was over at X360A and I was talking to Webb one day, I was like, I need to change my name, but I can't think, because all I can think of is just perverted shit.
I
So
wonder why. All I can think of is perverted shit.
well, it's the first thing that comes out of my head.
A lot of
and
people
I'm sorry,
listen to
I can't
this.
help it.
You're gonna get a whole bunch of new followers.
I'll be sure
I-
to link your gamer tag.
Well, you
Pervert
said it
Pandora
enough.
over here.
I'm sorry. I am who I am. I just
She
can't think
loves the
of
cock.
like innocent
Are you
shit.
12? Are you a boy? Please send your messages to OVO space Pandora space OVO.
But so I couldn't think of anything that wouldn't get me banned because I had a gamer tag like a dummy account before. That was I don't know if I should say it, but they actually banned it like I don't know 6 months later, and I was like, what? It wasn't like an instant thing, but I thought it was kind of funny. But
Well, let's hear it.
well, it was Flick My Being.
Oh,
That's
fuck.
funny. Come on, that's funny. But it got banned, and I don't
Attracting all
know.
the best people.
I mean, it was just a dummy account. And I don't,
And you complain about guys giving you shit.
that's what I mean. Like I can't think
They
of
won't
anything
stop
that's pure
harassing
and
me.
innocent.
I don't know why. My name is Flick My Bean. Leave me alone, please.
So Webb was like coming up with these different names, and he was like, "What about Pandora's Box?" And I was like, "Oh, I mean, I think Pandora's Box is actually taken." So I just stuck with the Pandora and put the O and V, the OVO
'Cause
on
she
the
wanted
either
it.
end. And there you go. But I occasionally get the Pandora's Box comment, but whatever.
From Rand, usually.
It's not as yeah, it's not as bad as before. So, but it's just I can't think of innocent, pure fucking shit. So
Innocent.
it's just me. So that's how I got Pandora.
So did Pan even talk about Magic 2015?
We talked about it briefly in the beginning,
Yeah,
but
Shitty,
you guys
shitty
are
game.
dissing on it. It's not shitty. Whatever.
I don't know about
Rand
the new
doesn't like
one.
it because you got to spend like $30 on it or
Well,
something.
yeah, I don't know about the newest
You got to
one,
spend
but,
10. You don't have to spend 30. 30 is just to get the
Well,
achievements
30, and then now the
faster.
game's like 100 hours or something.
You're
No,
pulling
it's
that out of your
not.
ass.
I mean, I finished
done with the
all
Ep,
of the
man?
single player. I just have the 100 wins to do. And if I had
Yeah,
somebody to
yesterday she's
boost
like, I
with,
only
then
need
it would be a little
99 more
faster.
wins.
But because I play legit, people who lose tend to quit, so it makes
See,
it a
you
little
guys
harder.
only don't like it because if you play it legit, you know that the option is there for you to make it faster. That's the only
Yeah.
reason you don't like it.
It's a good game.
Yeah, but it sounds like it's all just grind though. Like you're just grinding
It's
for cards. I don't know.
not.
It sounds really. It's like
Yeah,
here,
but-
play
you-
this really boring grind version or spend $30. I mean, which
Well-
is like the normal.
Well,
Well,
I mean,
$30
granted,
$30
I don't know exactly how the new one works, but at the same time, I mean, what do you consider grinding? Is playing the game grinding? I mean, it's
Well, yeah,
a
but
card
can you
game.
unlock cards playing the multiplayer, or do you have to play the single player?
You have to play single player. It is
Exactly.
a little different.
Okay,
where
Exactly, I mean-
I'll give you
you don't
that then.
get
I thought
cards
you would
for
be able to
winning
unlock him in the
multiplayer.
multiplayer. I'll give you that then.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, if it was
honestly,
something you could work towards while going for your 100 wins, then yeah, sure,
Well, no,
fine, buy the
take
$10
the
version.
achievements out of it. I'm just talking about playing the game. When people are playing Magic, they're going to be playing multiplayer, and if you can't earn progress by playing the multiplayer, then yeah, then it's a grind. I'm not even talking.
Well,
from
see,
the
I don't know.
achievement
I
standpoint.
actually don't know because I unlocked all my cards first before I played. Because then you have all the cards
Oh,
available.
well, you don't even know? Well, shit.
No, I don't. Honestly.
Say that.
I don't
before all
know.
that.
I don't know, but I don't think it's a little different the way it's set up this time around. I don't know. Like in the campaign, you unlock cards by just doing these explore things where you're fighting like 5 different people, not like the main people in the certain areas. Like there's 5 bosses that you fight, but you don't get cards from beating them over and over again. So it's not like the other ones. It's kind of, but that
So enough
I
about
mean-
Magic. Let's talk about Late Night in Pandora, shall we?
Tora.
I was saying, are you still
But the
recording
game
Magic?
itself isn't that long and grindy. You guys just don't know. What
Yeah, I'm recording. You need to stay in character. Get down.
Fuck character. I know
Fuck
it's a
you.
podcast.
Fuck
The listeners
character.
know it's a podcast. Fuck character. I just wasn't sure if you were still recording.
What do you mean? They know it's a podcast. So that doesn't mean I want to fucking snip
He's
snip
getting mad at
here
me for
and
breaking the fourth wall, Ran.
Yeah, God. Hey, so we're still recording or what? I gotta go take a shit. I'm gonna go downstairs real
I didn't
quick.
say that.
Shit. You were like,
I do
well,
this.
are
I do
we
this the
done
Kevin
yet?
Spacey way. Every
Well,
now and then, I just
well-
look at the audience and go, "Jesus Christ," or something.
Well, you're like, oh, well, are we done yet? Rand stopped talking, so I guess we're about done. Magic, go ahead
Well,
and
you
hit
know,
that record button and let's get out of here.
Well, you cut that shit,
Oh, now we're cutting all the less like
No, we're
5
you can,
cutting-
you can
seconds
leave
too,
this
huh?
part in. You just cut the part where Rand was shutting the fuck up. And if he wants to contribute and talk about,
No
how
breaking
horny
the
Pan
fourth
is
wall.
or
This
whatever,
isn't-
then that's
This isn't
fine by me.
Deadpool, and you aren't Kevin Spacey.
You guys are.
I'm actually glad we did this on Wednesday because now I can go see Lucy tomorrow.
I don't think that movie's gonna do very well.
It may not, but I
Yeah,
want
it
to.
looks pretty terrible.
Really, I thought it looked good.
I mean, it's a cool
now I don't
concept.
think it'll do that well,
You
but I thought
only
it
cool
think
looked
it looks
concept.
good because of Scarlett Johansson. If it was just some random
good. No,
actor,
because of Luke Besson.
what?
Scarlett Johansson's
Never
just a
heard
nice
of him.
bonus. That's no guarantee
Never heard
of a
of
good
him.
movie.
Never heard of him.
It's by the guy who directed The Fifth Element and The Professional and shit. Plus, I mean, it's rated R. That's an automatic. Must support this.
Ooh, you might
Oh
see the
man,
lead.
every movie rated R fucking must be a great.
No,
movie.
but how many rated R action movies come out in the summer anymore?
Well, who cares if they're shit?
None. Everything's like PG-13 crap. Need to support the R-rated movies that aren't comedies. That's the only R-rated
Even if
movies
they're
that come
crap.
out anymore. At least in the summer.
The only
R-rated
pull is
comedies.
Scarlett Johansson. If that was a random actor, it would be a terrible looking movie, and it already is a terrible looking movie.
I mean, the premise looks silly, but that doesn't mean it won't be a fun movie.
Yeah, the premise looked good right up until she started levitating people with her mind. I'm like, you lost me.
Really, I was the opposite. I thought the whole premise of her getting superpowers by being a drug mule was kind of like, okay,
I mean, it
Whatever,
just, to me,
I'll roll
it just
with it.
seems more like that. What was the other movie where the guy takes a drug and he's really smart?
I never saw it, but Limitless.
Yeah, I mean, it was
Oh, yeah.
basically the same thing as that. It was
Mm.
basically she was getting smarter and smarter, and it's like, and now she can lift people with her mind.
Yeah, but
It's like,
Limitless wasn't an action movie. I mean, this looks
I'm
like
just
it's
talking
a
about the
clear-cut action
premise
movie.
of taking a drug and it opens up more of your brain or whatever.
Well,
like,
it's kind of like
use more of your
the
brain.
phenomenon in Powder, where they're using more of their brains and they're special.
In
and
what?
can do this
Powder?
and that.
Magic's like
Powder.
phenomenal. Powder? What the fuck? What
Oh,
are
I'm
these
sorry,
old-ass
those are
movies you're
old
talking
movies.
about?
But I mean, literally, the dude pretty much transformed into energy, So, it's a
I
good
never
movie.
saw
you
either
should
one of
see it.
those. They looked retarded
What?
to me too. So,
Oh my goodness.
well, Phenomenon. That was like
Yes.
a tearjerker movie, wasn't it?
Well, yeah,
That
but
was
it was
just
kind of
like-
the same thing. He
Jerks
was
the
kind of
tears right out of your
he got struck
Well, yeah,
by
it was one of those
lightning or
movies
something,
where-
and
It was
And-
obvious from the trailer John Travolta was going to die at the end. It's like
well, yeah,
chick
but
flick
he,
designed to make everybody in the audience cry.
Ah.
Moving on.
well, Powder, the dude died at the end too, but it was sad.
Did he die? I thought he just turned into electricity or something and went up into
Well,
the
he
sky.
did. He transformed into pure energy, but I mean, a spoiler. Yeah,
The movie's 20 years
That
old. If they
movie's
haven't seen
like-
it by
yeah.
now, they're not gonna. Jesus Christ, fuck a spoiler.
What if they weren't alive? What if they're just born last year?
Then they're like you and they never heard of it anyway.
yeah.
Yes, I mean, they don't want to go back to it. Not everyone's like me.
Well,
Oh,
I mean,
Jesus.
Powder.
By the way,
Powder,
Darth Vader's
Powder and
Luke's father.
Phenomenon
Oh.
are good movies, but they're very
Who
similar.
would do that just to be a dick? And that's a bad example because everyone knows that.
And Bruce Willis was dead the whole time.
Oh, just ruining classics for the young generation. Fuck off, 13-year-olds. We don't care that you didn't see these movies. We only want adult
Well,
Their
one
parents-
13-year-old
like,
would
if
have
it-
to get permission from their parents to even watch some of those movies.
No, they wouldn't. The Sixth Sense
What
and
do you
Star Wars are
mean?
not R-rated. Look, any parent who hasn't shown their kid Star Wars by 13 was deprived anyway, so fuck 'em.
Oh well, Star Wars, sure,
Oh, here
but
we go.
unless it's on TV,
I say all my kids have seen Star Wars. I mean,
Oh, and you're the best example.
goddamn right. I'm a good parent. Like idiot. Just like
More
Rogue,
like you're
any
a
good
Star
parent
Wars
fucking
fanatic.
shows their kids
Nothing
Star
to do
Wars.
with parenting.
Ryan's seen Star Wars.
I mean, what else does a parent? I mean, other than kids movies. I mean, obviously kids like cartoons, but I mean, outside of cartoons, I mean, don't most parents show their kids like the good movies growing up, the good classics?
Hell, I took
Depends
Ryan to
on what
horror
they like.
movies.
Just because it's an old movie
Yeah,
doesn't
but
mean
when
everyone
a
will like
kid's
it.
like 5, 6, 7, I mean, they don't fully know what they like yet. That's kind of the
Well, yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Like,
What?
I mean, you
Just
don't
so-
show them fucking horror movies, but I mean,
Oh, I
you
took
let them
Ryan to.
experience. You let them experience different things.
This
Oh
isn't-
Jesus, that,
this
that
isn't
explains
like-
a lot.
This isn't like you're like opening up your mind of your child by showing him a bunch of different movies. This isn't some like, oh, this is part of your development. I gotta show you Star Wars and
Well,
Lego
Star Wars
and
is, yeah,
Hobbit.
you're goddamn right. It's part of the.
Yeah.
part of
No,
my
get the
kid's
fuck out of here.
development.
No, it's not. You super fan wannabe.
I don't know. A lot of my
You know
kids
how
like
they
a
call-
lot of that
you
stuff.
know how
Like,
they
like
call-
most of my kids all like Pacific Rim and all that shit too, and like Fifth Element. I mean,
Is there like a certain thing they call people who watch Star Wars? You know, like Trekkies. You know, they call people who watch Star
Star
Trek
Wars
Trekkies.
nerd.
smart
Do
people.
they have a name for? Do they have a name
people
for
with
people that
taste.
watch?
That's what
Geniuses.
they're
Ah,
called.
people with taste.
Something
Whatever.
you wouldn't know anything about, Mrs. I
Hey.
don't like trimmers.
Oh, whatever. You can't compare our Star Trek, Star Wars and put Tremors in that group. No.
I know, Tremors is
This
a
is like
whole
that
nother
moment
level.
in. You remember? Did you ever see the movie? This is the end. This is just
Yeah.
like that. It's like
Oh yeah.
you hate
the-
things that
the-
are universally loved, don't you?
I
Everybody
don't think
loves Tremors. You're a
Tremors
fucking
is
hipster.
universally loved.
It is
No.
universally loved. You're the
It
only person I know.
No, I
And
can't
I know
be the
a
only
good
person.
15 people.
I cannot
I
be
seriously
the only
don't think I've ever
person.
met anybody. I mean, even my kids love Tremors. Mary
Your
just
kids
the other day
do
was
not
Yeah,
count.
because you probably
Yes,
tell
they do.
them
Mary
you're gonna
was
sit down and you're
specifically
gonna like
asking
this.
for
Name me
Tremors this
10
weekend.
movies that your kids hate
Specifically
that you showed them
ask for Tremors.
that were
Really.
good movies.
Yes, I probably this weekend. Mary asked, "Was I going to put on Tremors?" Because I had bought like
What?
a couple of new movies. I was putting on like
Haha.
Rio 2.
You
Let-
She
probably
was like,
you
"Is it
probably
Tremors?"
were
And I was like,
standing.
"No,
Hold
it's
on.
not Tremors again."
You probably
Name-
were standing in front of like your bookcase, and you're like, oh, I
Do you
have
have any idea how many
Tremors
movies are on my
here.
bookcase?
Wait,
that
wait,
doesn't
wait.
mean shit.
Yes, I've
Name-
seen your bookcase,
Name
but
5
I'm
or
sure
10
you're.
movies. Name 5 or 10 movies that you liked and your kids hated it.
My kids didn't. They didn't really like Gravity.
I was gonna
There's
say
a bunch.
before you
So
start
that's
naming
kind of
shit,
boring for
kids
a kid.
movies
I
don't
mean.
count. Kids, you can't say I really liked Frozen and they hated Frozen. No, has to be a real movie. No animated bullshit. No Disney. No Pixar. No none of that. Name 5. Gravity's 1.
I don't know. I'd have to like. I don't know if you want to have this right now because I'd have to look at the shelf. I mean, off the top of my head, I mean, I mainly think of the movies I do like.
Well, yeah, but
I
I'm
know.
just
I know. I
saying,
have put on other
You're
things.
like
and
they
got
like
bored
this,
with
they
it.
like that, but they're kids. I mean, unless you put on some really boring movie, I don't really see them hating anything that you put on.
They didn't get too into Oblivion, as I recall. Like I remember trying to put Oblivion on for them, and they just were kind of like, eh.
Did you like Oblivion?
Yeah, the Tom Cruise movie. Yeah, it was good.
I know what it is.
I think that's because there's probably not a lot of action in those movies, like Gravity. I think that would bore a kid to death because there's nothing. I mean, it's just her and space.
They watched it. I mean, I don't know.
Well-
Mary was just kind of like, eh. She's the main movie critic. Like, Kayla and Helena are kind of young enough where they're just like, if they don't like it, they'll just kind of wander off, and you can tell they don't like it because they'll just start fucking, looking at the ceiling and shit. You know what I mean? Like kids
Right.
do. They're just not really paying attention
Looking
to
at
it.
the ceiling like they're cats.
Well,
or
you can tell they're just not really like. They're not into it. Like they're obviously like getting lost in their own little imagination and shit instead of paying attention to the movie. And you could tell when there's a movie they like, they're like glued to it. You know what I mean? Now Mary's a little bit older, so she'll really tell you like, I really like this, or I didn't like that, or this was just okay. So, like I took them to see Planes, like Mary and Helena. I took to see Planes, and I think Helena liked it all right, but Mary was like, it was boring.
Which
So.
one's the country one?
Well, I mean, they're full sisters, but Mary's the one that sounds really country. Helena doesn't
I
have
mean,
a
full
strong
sisters.
accent.
What does that have to do with being country? Country is a
But they're-
personality choice. You're not just because your sister.
Well,
I don't know,
I
Mary's
know.
not
I
country.
I
She just
disagree
got a
with
real
that.
bullshit.
southern
You think
sounding
every single person who's born in the South is country as hell? No.
Oh no.
Okay, then it
Look.
I was
doesn't matter.
I was
Well,
born in the
no,
South,
but
and
see, when I lived in Louisiana and in Texas, you kind of start talking like they do. You know, you start saying y'all, and I mean it's.
I mean, like DOA
I used
said,
to say I used to say pop because in Washington that's what we call soda. Is
that's
pop.
not
Yeah.
country.
And
we
here
say
and
pop
down Louisiana they say
we-
soda.
We
and
say
I just
pop in the Midwest.
I know, but you don't. But I'm saying is where you live, you start picking up their mannerisms, and you might start sounding a little more country
Yes,
than
well,
you
people around
normally
here
would.
ask me where I'm from, and I'm like, here. And they're like, oh, you don't sound like
yes,
you're from
but
here.
DOA's daughter.
Well, yeah, you don't sound. I will
DOA's
say,
daughter
like
says words
people
like totin'.
totin'.
Totin'. That's country as fuck.
Well, yeah,
I'm like,
but
who
it
am
could
I
be the
talking
people
to?
that
This
she's
is Mad
around.
Dog
That's
incarnate.
more. Well, I will say DOA doesn't sound like a lot of people from North Carolina or South Carolina. I mean,
North
they have
Carolina.
more
What the
of
fuck?
a.
I don't live in South Carolina.
I said either or. I mean, you don't sound like you're from, North Carolina, because you don't have like a I don't know like a twangy, you or you don't
Hey,
got
y'all.
that
slow.
twang,
You wanna get on that
DOA. You don't
Destiny?
got that twang.
You don't it's I don't know. You just
Y'all
don't
wanna
talk.
play some Destiny?
you
Destiny
don't
Vader?
you don't
That
talk
Destiny
like
Beta
you-
was a pile of dog
That
shit. I'm never
Destiny
gonna
Beta.
play it.
Yeah, like
Bader.
Goddamn Battlefield Vader. It was a bunch. Hold on, let me spit up.
well, isn't like Paula Dean? Isn't she from one of the Carolinas?
Hey, what was that video,
I don't
Rad,
know.
where the guy was talking about
Who the fuck is
Battlefield?
Paula Dean?
She's the cook chef who
We have
went
no
off on
idea
a
who you're
racist.
talking
And
about.
why the fuck do you think
Why
I would know
did-
that?
Us. Well, she was in the news. I mean, she was the one that said some that she wanted to have like a plantation style wedding and like have dressed up the black people in little servant outfits and
Oh,
she got in
yeah,
a huge
actually,
amount
I
of
do kinda remember
trouble
that now.
for
Yeah, I do
saying
remember
that she liked to
now.
say the N word all the time and I thought she was from like North or South Carolina. But
I have no idea where she's from. I do remember that now that you've said it. That was like a year ago.
oh, Clay Aiken's from North Carolina.
Oh, Jesus
Uh,
Christ.
He sounds. But,
And
but
that's
I'm
all
saying-
the time we have for this week's podcast. Now that
As
we're
soon as the American Idol talk starts, it's time to go.
Oh, jeez.
Because after this, it'll go be Deadliest Catch or some shit.
No.
Oh, God. Kill me.
I hate doing intros.
I can do it.
Oh, what am I supposed to say?
Welcome to the DRM Gamecast.
Yeah. Stupidest thing ever.